We didn't get supplies. Nothing came through.
It wasn't just bombs and bullets that led to the deaths of millions in the Biafran War. It was also mass starvation. In 1967, waves of ethnic violence prompted millions to flee to the southeast of Nigeria. The Nigerian government declared war when this area known as Biafra announced their independence.
They started running these civil defense groups. They gave us khaki trousers and shirts. And for guns, they gave us these carved wooden toy guns.
Cornelia joined the Biafran Civil Defense Force to fight against the Nigerian army, who were backed by the British government.
This giant metal bird, it just flew over us, dropped something that looked black. What we heard was boom. People were looking up, and I looked up and I saw a leg. Like a leg cut off from here.
The Nigerian government imposed a blockade which cut food supplies to Biafra. The widespread famine killed soldiers and civilians alike.
There are officials whose business it is to spread this relief to reach everybody. They'll share it to themselves and their relations. These poor local women won't see the food. The children won't see the food.
The Nigerian government at the time said the blockade was vital to winning the war.
It's too emotional to put in words, so... what I normally do when things are too bad like that, I try and block it out.
The former region of Biafra has never been recovered from the devastation.
And right now, Israel needs an ally. And frankly, let me add, the Jewish people need to know they have friends. There's a long line of enemies that the Jewish people experience across this globe, and sadly, on some of our own university campuses. It's going to be a privilege to be able to be one of those people, not Jewish, Christian in fact, but to say to our Jewish friends, you will never go through what you've gone through alone. We will stand not behind you, we will stand with you.
Israel's commitment to international law is unwavering. Equally unwavering is our sacred commitment to continue to defend our country and defend our people. Like every country, Israel has an inherent right to defend itself. The vile attempt to deny Israel this fundamental right is blatant discrimination against the Jewish state, and it was justly rejected. The charge of genocide leveled against Israel is not only false, it's outrageous, and decent people everywhere should reject it. On the eve of the International Holocaust Remembrance Day, I again pledge as Israel's Prime Minister, never again. Israel will continue to defend itself against Hamas, a genocidal terror organization. On October 7th, Hamas perpetrated the most horrific atrocities against the Jewish people since the Holocaust, and it vows to repeat these atrocities again and again and again. Our war is against Hamas terrorists, not against Palestinian civilians. We will continue to facilitate humanitarian assistance and to do our utmost to keep civilians out of harm's way, even as Hamas uses civilians as human shields. We will continue to do what is necessary to defend our country and defend our people.
There are some people who believe that, that faith should be silent and terrorism should be understood. No. Faith should speak its voice, and terrorism should be confronted, not understood, confronted and defeated. And that is what we're engaged in right now. So I want you to know that I spoke with President Trump yesterday. I said this publicly too. I see the battle against us and the battle against our Judeo-Christian tradition. They go to Europe, they go to the United States, they go to Africa, Nigeria. And we are conscious of the fact that Christians are being persecuted across the Middle East, in Syria, in Lebanon, in Nigeria, in Turkey, and beyond. Beleaguered communities who deserve our help. Just as you are helping us, we want to help back. And we're capable of doing that. In Africa with intel, in the Middle East with a lot of means that I won't itemize each one. But this is what our agenda is. It's the main part of our agenda, and it's going to continue with greater force and greater might in this coming year.
And we should spell out who are our enemies, because they are not just the enemies of Jews, they are enemies of Christians and Western civilization. Israel is strong because of its people. It's a nation that has only sought peace. small but mighty, for extending the olive branch to the world, even as it was attacked on all fronts, even when abandoned and alone. It has never stopped standing up for its people. Together we will tell a story. Together we will write our history. Together we will determine our destiny. Thank you, and God bless you all.
There's a shocking news now making rounds the world now. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu yesterday publicly said that Biafra was not created to disappear. This has sent signals to the world leaders and to us now. How can you react to this, sir?
Well, to a lot of people, to a lot of Biafrans all over the world, like I always say, this is the biggest celebration ever, because we saw the Biafran Day 30th being celebrated almost all the major cities around the world. But the significant among all, apart from the one that took place in Washington, D.C., by a man, I will tell you, Spencer, who made a comment in regards to that. And of course, I think he has the jurisdiction to study jihadist activities around the world. He was the one that spoke in that video. Maybe if you can watch it or you have watched it, But what you're saying, the one that actually amazes the whole world was the one that took place right there in Jerusalem, where it was reported that the Israeli Prime Minister's office made a statement and said that Biafra was not created to disappear. Kudos to Benjamin Netanyahu, kudos to Knesset Parliament, kudos to IPOB members, Biafrans in Israel, in Jerusalem, who made that day a memorable day. On the 30th of May, Israeli government celebrated the Biafran Day, jubilation, jubilation, jubilation. We are coming very close to it, and on that day, you can see the mentioning of nnamdikanu virtually all over the world. References, a lot of people spoke. People that we didn't expect, we are talking about nnamdikanu. People we didn't expect, we are talking about what actually happened in 1967. People that we never expected that they had the Biafran story are now speaking up, about the Biafran struggle. On May 30th, we witnessed the biggest and the largest gathering of the Jewish Israeli officials, government officials in Jerusalem, where it was marked and they said that Biafra was not created to disappear, and there's panic what Israel is going to do any moment from now. There's panic in Israel. There's panic almost everywhere in the world. What Israel is actually coming from. But to shock you, why Israel made that statement is that a few days ago we saw the United Nations blacklisting Israel as a nation, and unfortunately the jihad Lord Antonio Guterres, the UN Secretary General, has lost his mind. He has also shown that United Nations does not belong to the civilized world. It is being controlled by the Arab world. But
we've seen how the Northern elite has come out to condemn Benjamin Netanyahu's statement, saying that he is only pushing for division and then ethnic division in Nigeria. See, that statement shouldn't have come out from a world leader. Sir, how can you react to this, sir?
If you see the Northerners reacting to the message credited to Benjamin Netanyahu, that Biafra was not created to disappear, and the Northern leaders are saying it shouldn't have come from a world leader like Benjamin Netanyahu. These are the words we didn't expect him to say. But the question is that why are we experiencing ethnic loyalty? Why are we expressing regional loyalty? Why are we expressing people who do not believe in Nigeria coming out to tell the whole world that they actually belong to Nigeria? Why are we seeing jihad, Fulani herdsmen, military all over the region in Nigeria? Why are they playing loyalty to the North Dakota Caliphate? If that should be the case, then every other region should also play loyalty to their ethnicity and region. And that is why we are saying that at this point, it has become a reality, a repeat of what triggered the 1967, what triggered Aburi. We are seeing it on daily basis, and later Biafran War, and all the lies that surrounded the Gowon's book run according to Gowon, and these are the things that the world have access to, information to. The Aburi agreement can be accessed by anybody in the world, and in return to that, Benjamin Netanyahu told Gowon that Biafra was not created to disappear. That is a very big word. That's a very big word, and it has rendered the northern powers, the Asur Rock, imagining what is likely going to happen any moment from now, and in preparation for nnamdikanu's release. And like I always say, the understanding is very clear. nnamdikanu will be released to handle the instrumentality of the recognition of Biafra any moment from now.
But we've seen the Netanyahu youth, we've seen the other youth coming out to say that Benjamin Netanyahu cannot give the Igbos Biafra what they need.
Yes, you can say that. You can say the so-called the Bancho, how the one youth leader attacking, nnamdikanu's lawyer, Aloy Ejimako, over Sokoto declaration. Those things. You see, those things are just mere statement and mere threat. Because these statements, yes, this time around, they will know that Obi Jozo, I'm telling you, Obi Jozo, how did they put it? I've taken enough that we can, including the Yorubas. Even though they might like to pretend over it, but it is becoming very clearly that the only Christian religion, the only Christian nation, the only Christian structure we have in Nigeria today is mostly the Eastern people. There's no two ways about it. And when you're talking about Christians in Nigeria, you are talking about Biafrans, and that's what it means. And the world is looking at it that there is this clear-cut plan agenda that government of Nigeria is actually backing. And why are they backing it? Is because of the resources. And by the time they lay hand on the resources, that's what we are seeing today. That we are hearing that Sokoto Caliphate controls about 22 oil wells in the Biafran land. And those oil wells is being used as a weapon, to engineer, to fund jihad in Nigeria. So imagine, yes, imagine where they have total control of the resources. That means Western civilization definitely is going to be a victim of it. That's what we saw in Iran, Kuwait, and of course in Lebanon today, where it is being understood that the Iranians are using the resources they have to finance terror all over the world. But thank God for a warlord like Benjamin Netanyahu, who stood against it. And that is why he's sending a very strong signal to the global world to tell them that Israel is coming for the Jews, for the Christians, and that Biafra was not created to disappear. I so much love that word. Kudos to Benjamin Netanyahu for that outstanding statement. That means the world has continued to hear the Biafran voice. The world has continued to understand the direction that Biafra was going. The world has continued to see there's a reason why Nigeria should split and divide, so that everybody that says he believes in Sharia or what should go and do that in his own country and in his own area. But as simple as that.
We've seen that the presidency is now calling for the arrest of Rachel Nwosu, saying that she is the one championing this shenanigans. That the presidency is calling for her arrest, and the North are saying that they will not take it lightly with her. That since Israel is taking side, they too have no option than to make sure that the unity of this country is not threatened.
That's what they did at the United Nations General Assembly. We saw the Vice President, we saw Buhari in that line too. But what are the consequences? Those are the consequences now. And you can see the Israel is taking decision based on their reaction supporting Hamas at the United Nations General Assembly. If they can support Hamas at the United Nations General Assembly, Israel also has right to support the Biafra as an ally of the Israeli government or the Israeli nation. As simple as that. And that is what they are telling, that whether Rafael Woso or no Rafael Woso, what is clear is that Biafra sovereignty recognition is being discussed by 70 Knesset parliamentarians as I speak to you, and they are the ones that celebrated the Biafran Day. There's nothing anybody can do it. and it is coming to that point. We are not saying that they should come and defend us. Give us recognition. Let us defend Biafra against jihadi. Let us see what will happen at the end of the day. As simple as that. That's what they are trying to tell you, you know. And on that, anybody that is projecting unity in constitution of this country does not actually mean well for Christians. Mike Arnold should stop projecting. Mike Arnold, stop projecting. Mike Arnold, stop projecting constitutional unity of Nigeria. It does not work and can never work. As simple as that.
But we see Bianca also coming out in a fierce battle with Dr. Ngozi Orabozi, saying that her husband has ended the struggle. I don't know, and then nobody has the right to start the struggle. That the way she did to simonekpa, that will be the end of Dr. Ngozi Orabozi.
Philippe Fion, what was Philippe Fion? What did he say? When the instrumentality of ceasefire was being signed, he said if he failed to do what is in this agreement, that I'm talking about Philippe Fion, yes, the vice president of the Biafran nation at that time, that the children of the oppressed will rise up again. That is not the oppressed. We are not looking at whatever Ojukwu was said, because I know that most of the things they are coming about to Ojukwu that is totally fabricated. Ojukwu said, I will fight again. Ojukwu made a lot of statements that the only way out for an Igbo man is to exit from Nigeria as a Biafran. Exiting from Nigeria as a Biafran. You see, the problem is not about Igbo. The problem is Biafra. The problem is Biafra. The problem is not Igbo. The problem is Biafra. And what does Biafra represent? Biafra represents the most powerful black nation on earth. As simple as that. With Christian values. So if you look at that, what Philippe Fion is talking about, is it correct or not? If you ask the Nigerian government, they will tell you that Igbos have been marginalized. Ask anybody, you say, I'm not talking about the presidency. I'm talking about, you know, how they are using the resources of Biafran land as a weapon to kidnap, rape, and carry out jihad. So let us defend that resources, defend humanity, and defend ourselves as a sovereign nation. Let us see how it will work. And that's what we are saying, whether Bianco Ojukwu is aligning with them or not. What we are talking about, what the people are talking about at this point is that the world should show solidarity and just recognize Biafra as a sovereign nation.
Sir, lastly, before you go now, sir, what can you advise those who saw that, those that have lost hope in this struggle? What is your advice to them now that the Prime Minister of Israel has said that Biafra can never disappear, sir?
Oh no, yes, because they said there among 12 there must be Judas. In every hamlet,
among 12 there must be Judas.
Yes, in every hamlet there's a prince. In every hamlet there's a prince. Inside that hamlet there is Judas and there's a prince. So those who will play the role of Judas will play the role of Judas. Those who will play the role of prince will play the role of prince. On nnamdikanu we stand. And that is where we are heading to. nnamdikanu have not said anything contrary from whatever opinion anybody can hold against the Biafra struggle. And that is the fact.
Yeah, we take a stance on the struggle.
Of course. So anybody having ulterior motive against nnamdikanu is not our business. Our business is that, you know, what are we focusing on? That's what the Bible says. Focus on the cross. Or any other thing is side attraction. The Bible says that walk by faith, not by sight.
Walk by faith and not by sight. Thank you for that, and thank you for coming out to air your views. Thank you for that wonderful submission, sir.